Welcome back to another episode of NBA 2K14. And today I'm not going to play tonight because I have to get it ready for the recap. Tomorrow we'll be able to begin of the semifinals. As you can see, first round it's over as the second round will begin tomorrow night. We'll be check out some updates in the what's going on here. Let's check out some the playoff bracket, what is going on here. So, third second round matchup is going to be a pay-per-view matchup between a great one. The 8 teams are in the semis, and now we'll get ready for one step closer to the NBA title. So, here's the second round matchups are set. We got the Texas rivalry will be matchup features Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker of the San Antonio Spurs, the 5th seed, take on James Harden, Dwight Howard, and Jeremy Lin of the number 1 seed Houston Rockets. Gonna be a great one. Moving to the next one, we got Dirk Nowitzki and Monte Ellis up against Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook as the Dallas Mavericks up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. There will be a group one between 3 and 2. Next, other hand on the Eastern Conference, the rivalry heated up, featuring Carmelo Anthony versus LeBron James as the New York Knicks take on the Miami Heat. Will be a great one. And conclusion that Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah up against John Wall and Bradley Beal as the Chicago Bulls up against the Washington Wizards. So let's check out right now and see what's going on here on around the league. See the recap here. We got the first round recaps. So we got here to check out the recaps right here. We got the Rockets beat the Grizzlies in 7. Spurs beat the Lakers in 6 games. Mavericks sweep the Clippers. Thunder beat the Warriors in 7. On the other side, Heat sweep the Magic. Knicks beat the Pacers in 7. Wizards stun the Pistons. And Bulls beat the Hawks. Now move on the first on. We're going to check out the Western Conference first round recap. Move on the west side first before going to east. Let's check out the recap for games 1 to 7. So check out the recap from game 1 to 7 between the 8th seed Memphis Grizzlies and the 1 seed Houston Rockets. Let's check out the recap here in game number 1, back and forth matchup. In the game 1 opening close game as the Rockets won by 4 points, 109 to 105. James Harden got 27 points, 10 assists. Dwight Howard 21, Parsons 13, Brooks 10, and Lin has 9 points. Only the rest of the Rockets. And the other side, the Memphis Grizzlies, Tayshaun Prince unstoppable have 24 points. Michael Conley 15 points. Zach Randolph 13. Akunon and Marc Gasol 12, Bayless 10, Allen 8, and the rest of the Memphis. So game 1, it was the win by the Rockets. Let's check out the team comparison. So lead changes right here. Neither team have no fast break points, and also neither team have never biggest lead of the game. Never biggest lead of the game in game number 1, and look at the stats. Neither team have points in the paint. It looks like the glitch. Actually, it looks like, oh yeah, it looks like a glitch. Let me see, they did glitch. Yeah, it looks like a glitch. So this is game 2. Move on here, game number 2. Rockets win, another 4-point win, 112-108. James Harden, unstoppable, has 31 points, 9 assists. Dwight Howard 26. Chandler Parsons 15, Jeremy Lin 14, and the rest of the H-Town for the Rockets. And the side of the Memphis Grizzlies, wow. Mike Conley got 23 points, 9 assists. Tayshaun Prince 21, Marc Gasol 20, Zach Randolph 15, Tony Allen 10, and the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies. So the Rockets are up 2-0, and we're going to game 3 here in Phoenix Forum as the Grizzlies win by 2. 94 to 92, and a reminder after that because the Grizzlies trying about to seal this game number 3, but ended up the Houston Rockets got a furious comeback. They tied the game with the 3 free throws, but ended up failed to come back as the Mike Conley saving the hero as the game winner walk-off buzzer beater. That was the first playoff ended with the walk-off buzzer beater. Mike Conley got 27 points, 10 assists. Marc Gasol 16, Tayshaun Prince 14, Tony Rudin 10, Tony Allen 7, Zach Randolph has 5, and the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies. Rockets, James Harden 23, Aaron Brooks 13, Patrick Beverley 13, Parsons 12, Jeremy Lin 11, Dwight Howard only has 6 points. Rest of the Houston Rockets, and now Rockets still the lead 2-1 in the series of the best of 7. 9-4, 9-2. Game 4, that was the largest lead. The double digits victory for the Memphis Grizzlies. It did change in the biggest lead here. No, it looks like a glitch now. The glitch actually here in game number 4. So we see game 4 for the Grizzlies. Tayshaun Prince and Mike Conley shared 24 points. Has 10 assists for Conley. Gasol 15, Rudin 13, Bayless 11, Randolph 8, and the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies. Moving on to Houston Rockets. James Harden only has 21 points. Garcia 15, Ashik 12, Lynn 11, Dwight Howard got 9. So the rest of the Houston Rockets share with Chandler Parsons of 9 points. And the pivotal Game 5, another double-digit win for the Grizzlies, but despite James Harden got 32 points and 5 assists, Jeremy Lin 18 points, 8 assists, Patrick Beverley got 12. So only half the first quarter ended with a tie, 28-28. Aaron Brooks 7, Chandler Parsons also 7. Dwight Howard, Terrence Jones, Omer Ashe only has 3 players for 4 points. And in Memphis, we got Mike Conley 26 points, 12 assists, Marc Gasol 21. Tayshaun Prince 18, Tony Rutten 13, and Tony Allen 11. Zach Randolph got 10, and the rest of the Memphis is taking commanding 3-2. So they're about to upset against the number 1 seed, but did not get it in game number 6 as the Rockets stay alive 97-94. Ed Davis and Marc Gasol 19, Tayshaun Prince 17, Randolph 15, and Conley only has 9 points, but he have 18 assists. That was the most assists ever for the Grizzlies history. Tony Allen 8, and then the rest of the Memphis. And for the Rockets, James Harden got 28 points, 5 assists. Dwight Howard 21 points, Jeremy Lin 13, Aaron Chandler Parsons 10, and Aaron Brooks 9, and the rest of the Houston Rockets. And then move on to the last game, Game 7, as the Rockets take down the Grizzlies in the most dominating Game 7. What an outlast, the outscore ever seen. They crushed the Game 7 as the Rockets dominate Game 7 behind James Harden 27 points, 11 assists, Dwight Howard 21, Chandler Parsons 11, Jeremy Lin 10, Patrick Beverley 9, Ray Smith 8, Francisco Garcia 7, Omer Ashe 6, and Aaron Brooks only has 4, and the rest of the Houston Rockets. And the Memphis Grizzlies, Marc Gasol 18 points, Mike Conley 17, Tony Rutten 11, Jared Bayless 9, Tony Allen 8, Mike Miller 6, along with Zach Randolph, and Tayshaun Prince only has 2. And the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies. So the Rockets surviving by 8th seed and a huge upset to Memphis as they win the series 4-3. Move on to the next one. Lakers and the Spurs. Kobe Bryant up against Tim Duncan. So their first game won by 13-point margin for the Lakers. 13-point victory, 112-98. Kobe Bryant got 28 points, 12 assists. Nate Young 21, Pau Gasol 15, Wesley Johnson and Steve Nash only has 13, so the rest of the LA Lakers. And for San Antonio, Manu Ginobili only has 23, Tony Parker 17, Steven Jackson 14, Kawhi Leonard 11, Tim Duncan 8, and Patty Mills, Tracy McGrady only has 7, Daniel Green got 6, so the rest of San Antonio Spurs are OEC, Boris Diaw only has 2. Game 2, won by the Spurs, another double digits, 116-106. Kobe, despite Nick Young got 31 points, Kobe Bryant got 27 and 9, Pau Gasol 16, Chris Kaman 30, and looks like all the rest of the Lakers, but looks like Steve Nash only has 2 points and 11 assists. And for San Antonio, absolutely dominated by Tim Duncan, has 25.7 assists, Tony Parker got 22, Manu Ginobili 20, Boris Diaw, Kawhi Leonard 11, Thiago Splitter 10, and the rest of the San Antonio. So Danny Green only has 0, McGrady 2, Jackson 3. In Game 3, Spurs won by 8, 106-98. Tim Duncan 23, Tony Parker 16 and 9, Manu Ginobili 15, Benintendi 9, Diaw 8, Sherrod Jackson, and Kawhi Leonard. So the rest of San Antonio, even 3 players are 5 points, Mills, McGrady, and Daniel Green. And for the Lakers, Kobe Bryant only has 18, Pau Gasol 17, Nick Young and Steve Nash only has 15. So the rest of the LA Lakers in Game 3. So the Spurs are taking 2-1 series. Game 4, that was a close one by 4, 104-100. Tim Duncan got 25, Tony Parker 20, Manu Ginobili 16, Kawhi Leonard 14, Steven Jackson 11, Daniel Green 8, Tracy McGrady 4, Patty Mills 2, share with Boris Diaw, so the rest of San Antonio. And for the Lakers, Despite Nick Young got scored 33 points, 33 for Nick Young. Steve Nash got 14 points, 8 assists. Kobe Bryant got 30 and 9. And Chris Kaman got 10. So the rest of the LA Lakers and move on to Game 5 back in LA. But the Lakers stay alive in Game number 5. 98-88. Kobe Bryant got 25 points. Paul Gasol 19 points. Nick Young 16. Antoine Jameson 14. Steve Nash 17. Jody Mix only has 6 in the rest of the LA Lakers. Let's see what's going on here. And move on to San Antonio. Tony Parker 20, Manu Ginobili 14, Kawhi Lillard 10, Thiago Splitter, Tim Duncan 8, Michael Beninelli, Boris Diaw 7, share with 3 players with 7 points to the rest of the San Antonio. And a wrap up in game number 6. That was a close game in 5 points. Neither team never were biggest lead in the series. Biggest lead in game 6. It was a 5-point victory for the Spurs. Tim Duncan and Tony Parker share with 23, Kawhi Lillard 12, Manu Ginobili 10, Steven Jackson 9, Tracy McGrady 7, Boris Diaw 6, even Daniel Green and the rest of San Antonio. In the meantime, for the Los Angeles Lakers, despite Nick Young got 37 points, 4 assists, Kobe Bryant 23, and looks like no players have never get the 10 points or more than, or 10 points or less. Jody Meeks 9, Wesley Johnson and Chris Kaman along with Steve Nash 3 players for 6. But Nash has 9 assists in the rest of the Lakers, but Paul Gasol has 5 points. So the Spurs win the series 4-2 in 6 games in the type 1 and advances to the second round. Move on to the next one. The Dallas Mavericks up against the Los Angeles Clippers. It was a sweep in games 1 and 4. In game 1, in game 1, that was won by the 9-point victory for the Mavericks, taking 1-0, 119-110. Dirk Nowitzki 30 points, Monte Ellis 22, Vince Carter 17, Devin Harris 14, Sean Marion 10, and the rest of the Dallas Mavericks in game number 1. Meantime, for Los Angeles Clippers, Jamal Crawford 24, Matt Barnes 22, DeAndre Jordan 13, Chris Paul, what an absolute assist, the most assists, has 21 assists and 21 assists, 11 points, Blake Griffin 10, and the rest of the LA Clippers. In game number 2 in Dallas, Mavericks taking 2-0 as a double digits win for the Mavericks as they taken 2-0, 121-111. Dirk Nowitzki 28 points, Vince Carter 20, Monte Ellis 19, Sean Marion 12, Devin Harris 11, and Delonte West only has 9 points in the rest of the Dallas. And for the Clippers, despite Jamal Crawford got 31 points, Chris Paul 28 points, 11 assists, Blake Griffin 12, and Jared Dudley 10. DeAndre Jordan, Matt Barnes only has 8 points, and the rest of the Clippers. Now move on in game number 3. That was a close game. That was a close victory for the Mavericks as they take in 3-0, 2-point victory. As you see, Chris Paul got 35 points, 12 assists, not enough. Jamal Crawford 15 points, Reggie Bullock 12, Matt Barnes 11, Blake Griffin 9, and DeAndre Jordan 8, Lamar Odom 7, and the rest of the Clippers. And for the Mavericks, absolutely dominate for Dirk Nowitzki, has 28 points, Vince Carter 23, and Monte Ellis 22, Sean Marion, Devin Harris, Sherrod 11, and the rest of the Dallas Mavericks. And to wrap up in game number 4, that was another close one. 112-107, Jamal Crawford got 25 points, Matt Barnes 24 points, and absolutely another assist. Chris Paul has 20 points, 18 assists, DeAndre Jordan 15, Jared Dudley 8, and what is this happening? Blake Griffin only has 4 points in the rest of the Clippers. And meantime, the Dallas Mavericks absolutely playoff high. For Dirk Nowitzki, he has 31 points, Monte Ellis 29, Vince Carter and Devin Harris share with 15, Sean Marion got 14, including a game-saving block at the end of the game. Matt Barnes trying attempting the game-time shot, but he blocked by Sean Marion, and Matt Barnes forces the out of bounds and turnover, and he complete the streak by 5 points. 112-107 as the Mavericks advance to the second round, sweeping the Clippers. Next up, in the wrap-up in the Western Conference, that was a tight one. That was the biggest matchup. The rival between Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson take on Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. We look back in game number 1. That was a tight one. In the close game, 103-102, they lead Thunder, but in the end, the Warriors win by 4. 107-103, Russell Westbrook 23 points, 10 assists, Kevin Durant 17, Seth Lucia 13, Lamb 12, Ibaka 10, Derek Fisher 9, Nick Collison 8, Perkins 7, and the rest of the OKC In other side, the Golden State Warriors. Oops, and not in game 2. So game 1, Stephen Curry has 27, 11 assists, Andre Iguodala 22, Klay Thompson 12, Tony Douglas 10, Spades got 9, even with Barnes. Lee has 8 points, and the rest of the Golden State Warriors. Look at Andrew Bogut, who has never scored yet in the game 1. In game 2, another close game by 5 as Russell Westbrook got 28 points, 8 assists, Kevin Durant 25 points, Robertson 12, Fisher 11, Cephalusha 10, and looks like the rest of the OKC. Ibaka has 6 points. And we move on to Golden State. We got Andre Iguodala 23, Stephen Curry got 20 and 12, Klay Thompson 18, Tony Douglas 15, and Harrison Barnes got 9. Bogut and Lee only has 6 on the rest of the Golden State. So the evening series at 1-1. We're going to game 3 as a close game. That was the closest margin by 1 point, 119 to 118, despite both Andre Iguodala and Stephen Curry have combined with, I believe it was 65 points, 65 combined between Iguodala and Curry. They combined 65 points. Andre Iguodala got 33 points. Stephen Curry got 32 points, 15 assists. Klay Thompson's got 26 and Tony Douglas 13, and neither team have never points yet. So, and for the OKC, Kevin Durant 29 points, Russell Westbrook 24 points and 10 assists, Jeremy Lamb 16, Cephalusha 14, Derek Fisher 9. So looks like the rest of the OKC, Ibaka has 6 and 4 has Perkins. Move on game number 4. The only time this series, Thunder and the Warriors, the only time the double digits, that was the only dominate largest lead in game 4. There was the Warriors dominated game 4, 109 to 86. Stephen Curry got 28 points, 12 assists, Andre Iguodala 23, Klay Thompson 15, Nedovic 10, Bogut has 8, Barnes 6, Green has 5, and looks like in the rest of the Warriors, David Lee only has scored 2 points. And for the OKC, Russell Westbrook has 23 points, 14 assists, Jeremy Lamb 12, Steven Adams 10, Cephalusha 9, Kevin Durant only has 7 points. So it looks like in the rest of the OKC, Serge Ibaka and Kendrick Perkins are sure only 2 points, but even 4 players are Jones and Collison. And we're going to game 5. Game 5, another close game by 2, 103 to 101. Kevin Durant got 29 points, Russell Westbrook 21, Cephalusha 13 and 9, Robertson 11, Ibaka 8, Fisher 6, even Jeremy Lamb, and Perkins only has 2 points in the rest of the OKC. And for the Golden State, Andre Iguodala 25, Klay Thompson 22, Stephen Curry 19 points, 13 assists, Tony Douglas 15, and Harrison Barnes, David Lee 6 points, Andrew Bogut's got 4. Jay Crowder's got 2 and 2. So that will be wrapped things up here in game 5. And game 6, another close margin, winning by 1 point, 110 to 109. Stephen Curry got 28 points, 10 assists. Andre Iguodala 22, Klay Thompson 18, Harrison Barnes 16, and looks like the rest of the Golden State team. And for the Thunder, 25 points for Russell Westbrook, 11 assists. Kevin Durant 20, Derek Fisher 17, Cephalusha 16, and Jeremy Lamb only has 12. Ibaka only has 6, and where's Perkins? Perkins only has 4 points. And that was a back and forth game in the fourth quarter. It ended in a close one. The Warriors win by 1 point, 110 to 109, and we're going to game 7. Thunder will win by 9 points, 102 to 93. Behind Russell Westbrook, 25 points, 8 assists. Kevin Durant 20, Cephalusha 15, Fisher and Ibaka 10, Jeremy Lamb 8, Kendrick Perkins 6 points, and looks like there will be rest of the OKC team. And for the Golden State, Klay Thompson 26 points, Stephen Curry 21 points, 15 assists, Andre Iguodala 12, David Lee 10, Douglas 9, Andrew Bogut 6, and looks like the rest of the Golden State Warriors. And looks like the Oklahoma City Thunder will win this series in Game 7, 4-3 against the Golden State Warriors. And move on to the Eastern Conference side. The Eastern Conference matchup between the Orlando Magic and the Miami Heat in the first round. And in Game 1 here at American Airlines Arena, Miami won by the Heat in double digits, 107 to 97. LeBron James got 27 points, Dwayne Wade 22, Ray Allen 12, Chris Bosh 11, Mario Chalmers 10, and for the rest of the Miami Heat players, Udonis Haslem and Greg Olin only has 2. And for Orlando, And neither team had never points in the 20 as Ronnie Flies 15, Jermaine Nelson 14, Aaron Flalo 13, Bussy Beach 12, Harris 10, Glenn Davis 9, Herder Turku 7, and it looks like there will be rest for Orlando. And in here in game number 2. So move on to game number 2, the close game by 2, 111 to 109. What a finish! LeBron James absolutely scored 32 points, and the new player that was setting career high in 2014. LeBron has 32, Dwayne Wade 25 and 9, Mario Chalmers 15, Udonis Haslem 11, Ray Allen 9, Chris Bosh 8, and looks like there will be the rest of the Miami Heat players. And for Orlando Magic, each two players are Victor Oladipo and Jameer Nelson's got 27 points. And Victor Oladipo is not even close to go for 30 points as Victor Oladipo almost a game winner half court shot is I thought was in and out. It was went in and out of the rim and so close to trying to even the series as the Heat take a 2-0. Glenn Davis and Herder Turkle also 10 points. Aaron Flao 9, Ronnie Price 8, Bussy Beach 6, and looks like there will be rest of the Orlando Magic. Move on in game number 3. Another double-digit victory for Miami as they take it 3-0. And neither players for Orlando are 20 points or less. 20 plus points or less. Nikola Bussy Beach and Aaron Flao got 15. Moore got 13. Nelson 12. Oladipo 11. Davis got 10. Tobias Harrison 5. Looks like either Turkle only has 5 and neither players and rest of Orlando. And for Miami, LeBron James another dominate. 24 points, 10 assists. Dwayne Wade 22. Mario Chalmers 14. Ray Allen 10. Chris Bosh 9. Shane Battier 8. Greg Oden, Udonis Haslem 6. And the rest of the Miami Heat. And for game 4 wrap up, another close game by 4. 94 to 90. Jameer Nelson 22. Glenn Davis 18, Victor Oladipo 11, Nikola Bussy Beach, Aaron Flao 9, Herder Turkle 8, Tobias Harris 5, Evan Moore, and Ronnie Price. It looks like the rest of Orlando. And for the Miami Heat, LeBron James 26 points, 22 points for Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen 14, Chris Bosh 10, Norris Cole 8, and Mario Chalmers only has 5, and the rest of the Miami as the Heat sweep the Magic, move on to the second round. As a very one again here. And now move on to the bitter rivalry. Indiana and New York. All the home teams have won the first 4 games that every home team have won. In game 1, won by New York 8 points, 110 to 102. Carmelo Anthony 28, J.R. Smith 20 and 10, Raymond Felton 15, and the rest of the New York Knicks. As you see here, 5 players are 8 points each. Tim Hardaway Jr., Meta World Peace, Iman Shumpert, Tyson Chandler, and Amari Stoudemire. 5 players are 8 points. And for Indiana, despite Denny Granger got 32 points, David West 12, Roy Hibbert, Paul George 11, Copeland 8, and Scola 6, and Stevenson's also 6, and George Hill only has 5 points, but he has 11 assists. In game 2, another close game, 4-point victory, another lead. Pacers and the Knicks as the Knicks win in game 2, 28 points for Carmelo Anthony, 25 for J.R. Smith, Raymond Felton 14, Tyson Chandler 12, Amari Stoudemire 9, Kenya Martin 6, even Borgani, Mela World-Peace are 3 players to 6, and the rest of the New York. And for Indiana, despite Denny Granger, they score a new playoff high. They set in the latest playoff career high. He has 41 points, Paul George 14, George Hill 16 assists, 13 points, and David West 10. And the rest of the Indiana Pacers. And next up, we're going to game 3 here in Indianapolis. In another close game, but they ended up double digits win by the Pacers. 110 to 103. Paul George got 30 points, 9 assists. Dane Granger 23. George Hill 19. CJ Watson 13. Stevenson 11. And David West only has 5 points. Luis Scolas got 2. And Roy Hibbert never scored yet in the 0 points. And the rest of the Indiana. And getting in New York for the New York Knicks, neither players are not in 20 points. J.R. Smith only has 19, Raymond Felton 14, Iman Shumpert and Amari Stoudemire 11, Tyson Chandler and Carmelo Anthony got 10, and the rest of the New York Knicks. Move on in game number 4, another close game. Won by 5, 103 to 98. Paul George going to take it 27 points. Dwayne Granger 22, George Hill 14 and 10, and it looks like David West only has 9, Orlando Johnson only has 8, and the rest of the Indiana Pacers. Move on here, and on the other side, the New York Knicks, Raymond Felton got 24 points, J.R. Smith 21, Amari Stoudemire and Carmelo Anthony 11, Iman Shumpert 10, and the rest of these guys from New York. In Game 5, we're going back to Madison Square Garden. Another win here in Game 5 as they take a 7-point win for the Knicks. 28 points for Carmelo Anthony with 7 assists. Shared with J.R. Smith, also 7 assists with 21 points. Raymond Felton 12, Amari Stoudemire 11, Iman Shumpert 9, Kenyon Martin and Pergoni 7. Melo Woodley only has 5, and the rest of the New York Knicks, Tyson Chandler only has 2 points. And for Indiana Pacers, another heated for Danny Granger, got 35 points. Roy Hibbert 16 points. Paul George 13 points. Orlando Johnson, David West only has 8. And George Hill only has 12 assists, 6 points, and the rest of the Indiana. Move on to Game 6. That was a close margin in Game 6 and a 1-point victory by the Pacers. That was a back and forth lead changes. A lot of main lead changes. And so many lead changes. Let's see the team's comparison. The lead changes nothing. So neither team are never biggest late possessions. The lead changes. And their close one here by 1 point. 100-99. Paul George 25 points. Danny Granger 20, George Hill 17, Watson 13, David West 6, and the rest of the Indiana Pacers. Side of the New York Knicks, J.R. Smith 25 points, Amari Stoudemire 16, Carmelo Anthony Sher as well with 16, Raymond Felton 15 points, 13 assists, Tim Hardaway Jr. 8, and Iman Shumpert 7, and the rest of the New York Knicks. That was a close game here in Pacers as they win in game number 6 as they forced the game 7 back in New York, but ended up double digits 17-point win, 108-91. Carmelo Anthony 25 points, J.R. Smith 20, Raymond Felton and Amari Stoudemire has 11, Melo Woodley 7, even Tyson Chandler, Tim Hardaway Jr. has 6 points, and the rest of the New York Knicks. And now the Indiana Pacers, Danny Granger only has 19 points, C.J. Watson 16, Paul George 13, David West 10, Louis Scola 8, Orlando Johnson 7, Roy Hibbert and George Hill has 6 points, and George Hill has 11 assists. So the New York Knicks are winning this series in Game 7 as all the home team have won each in 7 games, then win the series 4-3 and are on their way to the second round to face Miami. Move on in the 6-3 matchup as the Washington Wizards take down the Detroit Pistons. To check out the recap in Game number 1. Game number 1 only has double digits, 22-point margin. Game number 1. Absolutely dominated in the first 4 quarters. Brandon Jennings 18, Chauncey Billups 15, Andre Drummond 14, Josh Smith 8, and KCP with Rip Hamilton has 6 points in the rest of the Detroit. And for Washington, John Wall 27 points, 10 assists, Bradley Beal 22 points, Otto Porter 15, Eric Maynard 10, Trevor Ariza 8, and other players that will be the rest of the Washington has taken 1-0. Game 2 in Detroit won by Pistons 105-99. Josh Smith got 21 points, Brandon Jennings and 17 points, 9 assists, Andre Drummond 13, Chauncey Billups and Greg Marron 11, and the 3 players or 11 players, Chauncey Billups, Greg Marron and Rip Hamilton, KCP and Rocky Stockey as well 6, and rest of the Detroit in Game 2. And for Washington, John Wall has 19 points, 10 assists, Bradley Beal 16, Nene 15, Trevor Ariza and Otto Porter also 11, Garrett Temple 8, and the rest of the Washington. Game 3, a dominate win here. That was on 26-point margin. That was the largest victory for Wizards in Game 4. In Game 3, 23-point margin. John Wall 32 points, 9 assists. Trevor Ariza 25, Bradley Beal 17, Garrett Temple and Kevin Serpent along with Otto Porter 10 points, and the rest of the Washington Wizards. And John Wall absolutely dominated 32 points. And for Detroit, neither players are 20 points or less, only has 10 points or more. 13 points for Josh Smith with Rip Hamilton, Jonas Jerebko and Greg Marron share with 12. Brandon Jennings, he has 11 points, 10 assists. Andre Drummond got 9 points. Charlie Villanova and Seba along with Rocky Stockey 5, and Billups only has 3. Rest of Detroit only has KCP 0. And move on the game for that was a close one. John Wall has 24 points, 19 points for Bradley Beal, Trevor Ariza 17, Otto Porter 12, Nene has 9, and the rest of the Washington. And we'll move on to Detroit. Brandon Jennings has 16, Chauncey Billups 13, Rick Marron 12, Rip Hamilton 11, Andre Drummond 8, Josh Smith has also, Charlie Villanueva 7 points, and the rest of Detroit. And move on in Game 5. That was the first time in the playoffs they would have a play in overtime in Game 5 as the Wizards closed this game out 121 to 117, winning by 4. Josh Smith 29 points. Brandon Jennings got 19 points, 13 assists. Great Maron 15. Chauncey Billups 12. Jonas Jerebko 11. Rip Hamilton 10. And looks like the rest of the Detroit Pistons. KCP has 7 and Andre Drummond 6. And for Washington Wizards, absolutely assist by John Wall. He has 3 points and 16 assists. Bradley Beal 24 points. Nene 16. Otto Porter 13, Trevor Ariza 12, and the rest of the Washington and neither team have never beat its lead. So the Wizards close this up in a huge stun and advances to the second round to eliminate Detroit and move on to semis. And wrap up for the first round in the East, the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. In game number 1, Bulls win by 4, 114 to 110, led by Derrick Rose at 28 points, 9 assists, Jimmy Butler 21, Marcus Teague 16, Carlos Boozer 13, Joakim Noah 11, Kurt Henry got 9 points. And the rest of the Chicago and move on to Atlanta. Lou Williams 23, Paul Millsap 20, Al Horford 14, Dennis Schroeder 12, Jeff Teague 9 points, and Scott Cunningham at 8 points. The rest of the Atlanta Hawks is the Bulls taking 1-0. Game 2, they stunned by the Hawks as they even the series at 1-1 in a close one. 94 to 91. Derrick Rose 21 points, 8 assists. Carlos Boozer 17. Kirk Henry 16. Butler 13. Snell has 7. Deng got 7 as well. Joakim Noah only has 6 points. Rest of the Chicago. And for Atlanta, Paul Millsap got 22. Jeff Teague got 16 points, 10 assists. Al Horford 13. Elton Brand 12. Lou Williams 12. And Dennis Schroeder 10. The rest of the Atlanta Hawks as the even series at 1-1. In game number 3, won by the Bulls with double digits, 114 to 102. Lou Williams 28, Al Horford 14, Jared Cunningham 12, Dennis Schroeder and Paul Millsap 10, Kyle Culver and Jeff Teague got 9 points, but Teague has 13 assists. And the rest of the Atlanta. And for Chicago, Derrick Rose got 26 points, 12 assists. Joakim Noah 23, Kirk Henry 18 and 10, Jimmy Butler 16. T got 11 and the rest of the Chicago Bulls. Move on for game 4. Won by 9 points for Atlanta as the even series at 2-2. Paul Millsap 23 points, Lou Williams 20 points, Kyle Culver 16 points, Jeff Teague 12 11, Al Horford 11, Scott got 10, Jerry Stackhouse 5, and Elton Brand has 4. Rest of the Atlanta Hawks. For the Chicago, 28 points for Derrick Rose, Boozer 14, Butler 12, Deng 11, Dunleavy 10, and even with Kirk Henry, Joakim Noah has 8 points, so the rest of the Chicago Bulls as the even series at 1-1. As the even series at 2-2, and now move on to Pippa Bowl Game 5. Double digit winning by 18-point margin, 114-96. Derrick Rose got 24 points, 14 assists. Joakim Noah 22 points. Kirk Henry got 20 points. Jimmy Butler 17. Carlos Boozer 10. Marcus T got 9. So the rest of the Chicago Bulls. For Atlanta Hawks, Lou Williams 18 points. Paul Millsap 14. Elton Brand 12. Kyle Culver and Al Horford 11. Dennis Schroeder 9 points. Jerry Stackhouse 7. And the rest of the Atlanta Hawks players. But Jeff Teague only has 3 points and 11 assists. That was weird. And wrap up here Game 6. Won by Chicago in a close one by 2. 97-95. Lou Williams 26 points. Jared Cunningham 21. Elton Brand 11. Paul Millsap 9. Al Horford 8. Scott 6. Schroeder 5. And the rest of the Atlanta Hawks. Look at that. Jeff Teague only has 1 point and 7 assists. While he only has no points yet. He has 1 for 2. And Kyle Culver only has 0 points. Wow, that was weird. That was a close one as Al Horford could not get the forced overtime. As he missed his game-tying shot as the great defense by Joakim Noah to stop the Chicago. And for Chicago, Derrick Rose had 26 points, 9 assists. Joakim Noah 17 points. Jimmy Butler 13. Kurt Henry 11. Marcus Teague 8, and the rest of the Chicago Bulls. That was a close game, winning by 2 points as the Chicago Bulls eliminate the Atlanta Hawks by Chicago Bulls eliminate against the Atlanta Hawks by 6 points. Again, Chicago Bulls eliminate the Atlanta Hawks in a 6 games and move on to the second round of the playoffs. So here's the second round matchups. It's gonna be a great one here. So the semifinals will begin tomorrow night. Let's check up the playoff stats. For playoff stats, we got the playoff leaders. Dirk Nowitzki got 29.2. Danny Granger 27.4, LeBron James 27.3, James Harden 27.0, John Wall got 26.4, Derrick Rose 25.5, Sherrod Nick Young, Stephen Curry got 25.0, Russell Westbrook 24.1, Jamar Crawford 23.8, Chris Paul even 23.5, Alice 23.0, Iguodala 22.9, Dwayne Wade 22.7, Kobe Bryant 22.3, J.R. Smith 21.6, Lou Williams 21.2, Kevin Durant only has 21.0, Carmelo Anthony 20.9, Mike Conley 20.1, Tony Parker 19.7, Bradley Beal 19.6, Sherrod Klay Thompson, Paul George 19.0, and Jameer Nelson has 18.8 points per game. And the rest of that, Vince Carter, Sher as well, Tim Duncan, Marc Gasol, Tayshaun Prince, Paul Millsap, Manu Ginobili, Blake Griffin, Brandon Jennings, Josh Smith, Dwight Howard, Jimmy Butler, Raymond Felton, Trevor Ariza, Joakim Noah, Kurt Heinrich, Victor Oladipo, Thabo Sefolosha, Devin Harris, Pau Gasol, Jeremy Lin, Oro Porter, Al Horford, Glenn Davis, Sean Marion, Aaron Aflalo, George Hill, Ray Allen, DeAndre Jordan, Mario Chalmers, Stoudemire, Greg Marron, Chandler Parsons, Kawhi Leonard, Chauncey Billups, Nikola Vucevic, Zach Randolph, Richard Hamilton, Carlos Boozer, Andre Drummond, Tony Douglas, Derek Fisher, Jeremy Lamb, Nene, Chris Bosh, Steve Nash, Blake Griffin, Steven Jackson, David West, Jeff Teague, Dennis Schroeder, Tony Allen, Elton Brand, C.J. Watson, Aaron Brooks, Tony Rutten, Kyle Culver, Jared Cunningham, Iman Shumpert, Marcus Teague, Patrick Beverley, Hedo Turkoglu, Chris Kaman, Harrison Barnes, Ronnie Price, Reggie Bullock, Jared Dudley, Serge Ibaka, Jared Bayless, Roy Herbert, Tyson Chandler, Kevin Serapin, Tim Hardaway Jr., Garrett Temple, Antoine Jamison, and last but not least, Tobias Harris. So the rest of the players of the playoff leaders, up to 192 players are ranked. Move on for team stats. Let's see what's going on. Sort. Let's see the sort. Alright. Moving to see the sort here, we see Golden State Warriors, OKC Thunder, Houston Rockets, Indiana Pacers, New York Knicks, and Memphis Grizzlies are 7 games played before Memphis, Indiana, and Golden State are eliminated. San Antonio, Lakers, Atlanta, and Chicago are 4 teams are 6 games played. Washington, Detroit are 5 games played. Mavericks, Magic, Heat, Clippers are 4 games played. And neither team, Portland up to Philadelphia, who never made it to the playoffs. For player stats, let's check out some playoff stats here. Looks like no Sixers, and looks like the players are neither team. So you can see Derrick Rose for the leader. The player stats with Derrick Rose, the Jamar Crawford, not Chris Paul, Mike Conley, Lou Williams, LeBron James, J.R. Smith, Nick Young, not Kobe, Jeremy Nelson, Dirk Nowitzki, Danny Granger, Brandon Jennings, James Harden, Tony Parker, Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry, and John Wall. And for metric stats, PER, let's check out what's going on here. James Harden has PER, has 32.6. LeBron James and Vince Carter share with 29.1, 28.2 for Kurt Heinrich, Derrick Rose 27.8, Stephen Curry 27.5, John Wall 25.5, Danny Granger 24.6, and Paul George has 24.1. Dirk Nowitzki 23.6, Russell Westbrook 23.5, Chauncey Billups 23.0, Mike Conley 22.7, Jared Smith 22.1, Sherrod Chris Paul, Luke Williams 21.6, Sherrod Andre Iguodala, along with Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony 21.4, Dwayne Wade 20.9, Negan 20.8, Bradley Beal 20.4, Monte Ellis 20.3, and last one Tim Duncan has 19.4. So the rest of the PER players, so they'll be up to 192 rankings. As you can see, PER did not qualify from Jonas Treberko, the 94 rank, up to Rodney Stockton. And for player stats, let's see what's going on here. And you see the players we're in PER player. We got Kirk Heinrich, Jared Dudley, Tony Rutten, Kyle Korver, LeBron James, Tim Hardaway, what a 32.21, unbelievable. Kobe Bryant, Lonnie Price, Vince Carter, CJ Watson, Chauncey Billups, James Harden, wow, 32.64, that was good. Steven Jackson's got 32.37, Derek Fisher, Stephen Curry, and John Wall. That will be the rest of the PER player stats. So check out the season awards, and looks like there are nothing. There are all glitch. Let's check out some update. The players of the week are not now. So let's check out some update. The last one, there will be wrap up for playoff history. Check out the playoff records so far. First, we get Chicago Bulls, and looks like first one is Chicago Bulls. There's no one playoff records. Move on to the next side. We got the Clippers. You see Matt Barnes. They have 6 3-pointers made. Chris Paul has 21 assists. Next is Memphis Grizzlies. He has Tayshaun Prince, 6 3-pointers made. Mike Conley got 18 assists. Zach Randolph has 5 points, 5 blocks. I'm so sorry. Atlanta Hawks is not on that one. Miami is not. So New York Knicks is not also. Lakers is not here. Orlando is not here. Dallas is not here. Indiana, they have 17 free goals made for Danny Granger. Only has 1 playoff record. And looks like Detroit is not that one. Houston is not that one. San Antonio as well. Oklahoma City is not also. Golden State, they not here. And the Washington Wizards, they have John Wall has 16 assists as the playoff record. Let's check out the team records for the playoffs of NBA records. So let's check out the updates. So there's no playoff record yet. So there are no team records. Let's check out the single season. It has Will Chamberlain has the latest one. Look at that. Jason Richardson from the Philadelphia 76ers. They have 370 3-pointers made. That was unbelievable. Thabo Sefolosha has 0.736 field goal percentage. Jimmy Butler has 0.753 percentage. Dan Schroeder has 1,000 percentage. And the rest of these guys are moving to the playoffs and the career records. Might be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is still here. And looks like the rest of these guys are not yet to update. He did not get the record yet. So it looks like there's no playoff records. So not yet. Let's check out the playoff records. What's going on? So no playoff record. There's no playoff record here. There's no playoff record yet. So it looks like there's no playoff record. So there we wrap up things up. So let's check out the bracket. So the first round is done. So there will be wrap up for the first round. So the second round there will begin tomorrow night. Time to pay-per-view between those two. Let's check out the time of pay-per-view between those two matchups. Let's check out the 8 players, the 8 teams. Let's check out the semifinals pay-per-view. First one, it was the Western Conference semifinals that between the 5-1 matchup. It's gonna be Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili of the San Antonio Spurs up against Dwight Howard and James Harden along with Jeremy Lin of the Houston Rockets. The last playoff matchup between those two teams, they met in 1995. That was the Rockets stunned the Spurs in Game 6. Any road teams that won the first 5 games, no home team yet until the end. Game 6 won by the Rockets. And it advances to the NBA Finals. Eventually won the championship in Sweden. They won back-to-back led by Akeem Olajuwon and Sam Cassell along with Clyde Drexler. That would be a great one. I actually didn't realize it was the 2017 playoffs between those two matchups. James Harden versus Manu Ginobili, since Tim Duncan are now retirement in 2016. It's going to be a great one. Second one in the West semis, we got Dirk Nowitzki and Vince Carter along with Monte Ellis of the Dallas Mavericks up against Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Serge Ibaka of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the last playoff matchup between these two teams, they met in 2012 Western Conference first round where the OKC Thunder sweep the Dallas Mavericks 4-0 in the first round. But led by Kevin Durant, that was one game wonder, including game winning off the bounce and the putback. And we're ending with the sweep. So every time the matchup between Dirk and KD, the trilogy matchup between those two teams, between those two matchups, and but the Mavericks and Thunder are gonna be a great one. But in real life, in 2016, as the Thunder and Mavericks, they met in 2016, which won by the Thunder in 5 in the Western Conference first round. Move on to the next matchup. It's gonna be a marquee matchup between the former top 2 picks from 2003 draft. It was Carmelo Anthony from Denver Nuggets and LeBron James from Cleveland Cavaliers. But the new one, new generation, it's gonna be a great one. Carmelo Anthony up against LeBron James, the Miami Heat. But it's going to be a great one. It's going to be the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. Another clash of the rivalries. Last playoff matchup that was 2012, where the Heat beat the Knicks in the first round. Eastern Conference won by the Heat in 5 games. And those reminded a lot of rivalry, a lot of brawl, a lot of fights, and a lot of game winners. First minute was 1997 in Game 5, where I accidentally punched an accident. There were a lot of brawls, a lot of accident punches. But the Heat came back down 3-1 in the series. They're on their way to the Eastern Conference Finals before felled by Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls in the 1997 Eastern Conference Finals. Second matchup, this time the Knicks getting revenge in Game 5 against the Miami Heat, and notable moments in Game 4, the final moments of Game 4 in the fourth quarter, as the Knicks won in Game 4 as Tim Hardaway misses the 3 for Miami and cannot get there, but the suddenly referee stops. It seems that there is the brawl between Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning. Two players are Miami and New York, but the former Charlotte Hornets teammate. That was the Charlotte Hornets player, former teammates. And when in the fight, there was the Knicks win the series in 5 games on the benches in the second round. Next, eventually the Knicks will lose the game against the Pacers in 5 games in the semifinals of the Eastern Conference. 1999, that was the second time during the lockout. In Game 5, that was down to the Warrior in Game number 5. Alan Houston hit the game winner with the floor of the bounce, and the shot clock expires with still the time 0.7, and he let Alan Houston saving a hero and a huge upset as the New York Knicks team become a second team in NBA history as the 8 seed beats the 1 seed. But eventually they made it to the NBA Finals in 1999 but fell short to the San Antonio Spurs in 5 games led by Tim Duncan and David Robinson. And last but not least, in 2000, another great rivalry between those two teams, and the ending of the rivalry, the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat down to another series, but the Knicks win in a quarter G matchup. They win the series over the Heat 7 games. Their total of the do-or-die games, the total of do-or-die games or something extended series or deciding game. The total of the deciding game they have I believe they was 23 points, 23 games, 23 combined games the playoff series in a huge Game 7 or Game 5 winner take all and a do or die matchup. So that will be a matchup. It's gonna be a great one between Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James. Will be a great one between those two clubs. And the conclusion is we're on to United Center in Chicago. It's gonna be a great one between the Young and Rice matchup, featuring John Wall and Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards take on Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah of the Chicago Bulls. So that one, a great one between those two matchups. Each player, that was the mid-year the last time. That was the last matchup. You see here, the last playoff meeting between Washington and Chicago was way back in the 2005. The Bulls won the first 2 in the 2005 Eastern Conference first round against the Wizards. They down 2-0 until the Washington Wizards won for 4 straight games to win the series 4-2, including Game 5. Gilbert Arenas hit the game winner jumper at the buzzers. The Wizards taking 3-2 and win the series 4-2. And back in 1997, that was the last game the Washington Bullets, because they would change the Wizards due to a lot of people for reasons believe many something wrong. So the Bulls sweep the Bullets led by Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. They advanced to the second round, but they eventually won the back-to-back. Second three-peat and part of the Chicago Bulls dynasty from 1991 to 1993 and from 1996 to 1998. But in real life, it was the 2014 Eastern Conference first round between those two members, but Derrick Rose is out due to the injury by the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards will take down Chicago Bulls in 5 games. They will win this series. As the road team, Wizards are going to take a sweep to Chicago 3-0. And right there, that was a tough one. So that will be a great one. It's going to be a great series. It's going to be one step closer to the NBA championship. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. As we see now, the first round is done. Second round is underway. So, they will be wrapped up here today. That'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. As we are now, the NFL season is back. Glad to join us as the close matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. That was a great NFC East rivalry between Dak Prescott versus Jalen Hurts. At the third quarter, after the fumble by the Eagles, and because they're suspended, I thought was supposed to be suspended due to the ball being in Philadelphia was the thunderstorm and raining area, but they resumed the game until 11:30, but it ended up win by the Eagles. The final score, Philadelphia Eagles win over the Dallas Cowboys 24-20 on the opening night of the NFL kickoff schedule. So the NFL tomorrow will be Brazil matchup here on YouTube, here at Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's going to be a AFC West rivalry between Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs, taking on Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers in the AFC West rivalry. That will be interesting. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. So the first round is in the books. So the second round will begin tomorrow. First game, we're heading to Chesapeake Energy Arena for the Dallas Mavericks and the Oklahoma City Thunder, followed by the second game here at the United Center in Chicago will be the Washington Wizards and Chicago Bulls. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. It's time to say sign out and peace out. Good night, and reminder, we'll see you tomorrow as the semifinals will begin on September 6th. First game, we're heading to Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City for the Dallas Mavericks take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, followed by the second game, United Center, the Washington Wizards, and the Chicago Bulls. And then the next one, September 7th, as the San Antonio Spurs take on the Houston Rockets here at Toyota Center in Houston, followed by the New York Knicks take on the Miami Heat here in American Airlines Arena in Miami. So that we wrap things up. So once again, I'm out and peace out. Good night. Have a wonderful day. And we'll see you tomorrow for the start of the second round. So long everyone. And thanks for coming. Peace out. Good night.